Welcome to the Missouri River. We're just outside of Kansas City, also known as the City of Fountains, the heart of America, the Paris of the Plains. We are here to dive on our first car here on the Missouri, looking for missing person Johnny Lee Thompson Jr., among 5 others local to the area that have gone missing in their vehicles. Let's get on this first car for the day and see what we can find.
Six people yesterday we were looking for in Kansas City, Missouri. Yesterday, Peter Coughlin as well as Down Under Dan were leading that investigation, where we started over at Caw Point. Our main area of interest is really north of where Johnny actually went missing.
Yep, that's right.
However, Caw Point played an important role yesterday because of the 6 people that are missing. Like, where do you really start? So yesterday we kind of started in more of the safer location, the Kansas City or the Kansas River, where Dan was a little more comfortable. Today, his skill level is like, you know what? I think I can push a more dangerous situation today as a diver in the Missouri River. So let me bring you up to speed as to who we're looking for and why we specifically chose this location to start at today. We're first going to start off with Johnny Thompson, who he was last seen just south of here.
That's right.
Now, I spoke with his sister, and his sister said he really didn't have a home. He worked hard, so he wasn't homeless, although technically that qualifies as homeless. But from the location that he was last seen, we tend to focus on a 5-mile search radius. Well, this location right here falls within that 5-mile search radius as the closest boat ramp. Now, we're not saying that, Johnny was in a situation where he's like, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and check out on my own. There's also a lot of speculation online from the family as well that says, well, maybe somebody did this to him. However, our organization tries to steer away from anything that might be potential foul play. So with, just looking for Johnny, is this an accident location? Is this a on-purpose location? Does something more sinister happen? We don't know. We're not here to figure out the why or the how. We're simply here to figure out
The where.
The where.
Yeah.
Now, in addition to that, we have Johnny from 2019. We're looking for an F-150, but we're also looking for Jonathan Williams. He's also in a Ford. This is a Ford Tempo, and he went missing back in June 6th of 1994. We also have Robert Lyman. Now, Lawrence, Kansas is a little bit further, away from here. We don't know his situation. Is this a, hey, I'm going to check out? Is this a accident? Where on the river, where might we find him? I don't think he's going to be at this boat ramp. However, like yesterday's location, starting at, Caw Point and moving upriver a mile and finding 7 vehicles plus a barge, like, we were so hopeful yesterday.
We were, yeah. The one thing that we can deduce out of all of these cases is that they're all missing with a vehicle. We know that there's way more than 6 missing people here in Kansas City, but we do know that there's way more than 6 cars on the river. We found 7 yesterday. We found a barge.
It was four Jeeps, I believe.
Yep, 4
2
Jeeps.
Blazers.
Yep.
Or 3 Jeeps, 2 Blazers, as well as 2 minivans, I believe.
That's right.
Station wagons.
That's right. And so we're coming down here, downstream of the Missouri from Caw Point, at the next boat ramp location that would be most probable for where Johnny Lee Thompson Jr. may have gone in the water. Let's see how many vehicles we're going to find here in the Missouri side of the river today and see if we can solve any of these cases.
As well as some of these other cases. Another case that we have is Jennifer Donas.
I believe she went missing just in 2014. She's one of the more recent cases that have gone missing with a vehicle. So.
Yep, and this is a 1997 Pontiac Bonneville, burgundy in color that we're looking for on that one. We also have
Deus J. Hudson, missing since 2007. In his Chevrolet Cavalier, 1999, green in color.
And then our last person that we're looking for today, we're looking for a missing black 1973 Chevy Caprice.
Yeah, Donald,
now this is one of our older cases.
Yeah, 48 years he's been missing.
From 1978. So I was born in 75, so yeah, just a few years after I was born.
Yep.
And so that gives us 6 people we're looking for somewhere in the Kansas City metro area. So fingers crossed today, we're gonna get in the water. You're actually gonna jump in a second boat so that way you can continue to learn sonar.
Yep.
As Carson and I kind of take lead on this one today and see what we can find. We've got Down Under Dan here. We really appreciate him being a part of this with us as he's jumping in the water all the way from Australia. If you've not yet met Dan or know about Dan, we have a link in the description down below. We appreciate you being up here, because you're coming into this, Dan, with a law enforcement background, a investigator mindset, and learning how to kind of think outside the box, that you're going to take some of these skills back to Australia with you for the way that we think as just regular common folk.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's some great skills that I'm learning, and looking forward to applying it to the 3 cases at the moment that I'm searching for.
Yep, so we appreciate you pushing your diving skills and limits here, and we're going to work with you on how we do it where we're not tethered, how we have, the safety of the boats, topside, and how we position them in particular ways. That way when you're down on the, down on any of these vehicles, especially these currents, if you have to pop up,
Yep.
we have a rescue boat ready to go for you.
Yep.
So, hey, we appreciate Dan being here. So again, check out Dan in the link down below. On that note, we're going to get in the water and see if we can make a difference in the world today and bring somebody home.
For families who have all but given up on finding their loved ones, this team is a last hope. Civilian divers cracking cold cases for free.
Just came up to 4 feet. So we hit a nice big hole down to 9, 10, and then back up, which took away my hopefulness that we're gonna find a vehicle down here further, but I hope that I'm wrong. A lot of tires down here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tires. Say what we should do, Carson. You got the city in the background there, which is upstream right here on the Missouri River. I think that we should run this up to Caw Point, where we were yesterday, and just scan the entire stretch between here and there. I think it's about 3.5 miles or so. What we got right here, Carson? Like, look at it just gurgling right there. Got a car there? Any rocks there? What's causing all the commotion? Hey Peter, there wasn't a single car down there. Let's go ahead and run it all the way up to Caw Point up here, just through town, and see what we find on the river up here. So when you're scanning rivers like this, you want to make sure that you're like 2.5 to 3.5 miles an hour. That's why we're not scanning down, otherwise we're going to be cooking at like 5 to 6. Right. So that's why we're heading up. The second thing is when we're dealing with like big levees and banks that come down like this, you actually don't want to be out off of it. You want to still be catching kind of like the middle of it as it's tapering down. That way you're picking up, you know, what's closest to shore here. You're going to pick up on your live scope if there's anything directly under you that's bigger like a car. And then you're also going to be picking up that flat bottom. Now, most of the cars that we've found off of something steep like this is going to be right where the levee comes down, where it meets the bottom of the floor right there. Or within 10 feet normally off of it. However, has been an instance or two before where we actually have found vehicles right on that slope. Nadine Moses is an example. We have another one when we're looking for Billy Bob and Mary. We found a Mustang also on that steep bank, which is actually the same river, Missouri River, that we're going to be in Atchison again looking for them in a few days. So something to keep in mind as you're scanning this. Just kind of suck in right behind me and learn how to read it like that. So what we just went over with him is, if I move out in the channel a little bit more, here's where the levee meets the bottom of the river. So if we're out here scanning, I'm going to move just out to the right to really exaggerate it. You see that I now get flat and flat on both sides, and so we actually have the levee over here on the left now. What that does is it changes the way that the sonar is going to read like a flashlight and hide any potential silhouettes that I'm looking for. So you have the levee over here, and then you have like a little channel there. You've got a log hanging on the water right here, and then you have another rock barrier, or there's probably like a log jam or something right there with the levee back here.
I found a car.
Where?
I don't think it's a car.
I don't think it's a car either.
You look up right here. How could a car get up here?
Because it's going to float down from the levee over here.
Oh.
So that's where you're going to come in at.
I see.
Could be a car. It's a potential car.
You see it?
Yeah. Could be a car. I haven't been right over it yet.
I took a picture of it when I was right over it, and it looked like a car.
Oh yeah, you got yourselves a car, Peter.
Yep.
Nice work. Upside down. So at this point, since we just have a lot of distance to cover,
Yeah, we'll just mark it.
yeah, just do a waypoint on it. All right, well, we'll suck back in behind you. Nice work. From where we started with Dan this morning, heading up to Caw, where we were yesterday, we are about at the halfway mark right now. So the fireboat that just left here, a couple days ago, evidently, there was a couple of guys running from PD.
Oh, really?
He didn't really allude to whether it was a vehicle in the water they're looking for,
Okay.
or if it's just two guys in the water that they're looking for.
Okay.
But they evidently have an area of interest that they're interested in, which means that it sounds like the PD probably knows where the vehicle went in, and now they're heading up to go focus on that.
Which is the upstream of the Kansas?
Yeah, and he didn't say how far. He just said he was going to see if they could get up as far as they needed to.
Huh.
So at this point, do we head up there and just continue our search from yesterday, past the bridges that we were at, and just do our thing, and then eventually we run into them, and then if we run into something to record, then we run into something to record that's happening?
I think we should go past where we searched yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
I mean, I have enough fuel right now to get us back because it's downstream.
Do you feel like there's more to find
Oh yeah.
upstream.
Oh yeah.
from
There's a
where you
lot
were.
more. Like
How far down did you go yesterday?
Like if we stay
'Cause I
another,
didn't get a chance to see where you went.
we went past the Central Bridge to the next bridge at the 670 bridge.
Okay.
And we went under that and then just past that and scanned the train bridge just upstream from that as well.
I got you.
We're here for a specific purpose, you know, as we're looking for, you know, these 6 right here. So we'll leave them to do their job, and you know, they look very competent in doing it, knowing that, you know, they know about the car that's out here. All right, ready to head down?
Yep.
All right, let's go do it.
The episode's all yours now, Peter.
Oh yeah, you can still see it from out here. Barely, but you can still see it. So I'm out here on the flat ground, is where I was at, and you can still see a little bit of something right there. So even spotting that, then we would circle back over it and go check it out.
We'll get down here to Dan and probably get him in the boat, bring him up here, and he can dive on that rig real quick. Looks like they've dumped a lot of rock to control the erosion. But other than that, it's got a very smooth profile to it. It's about 20 feet deep at the moment. I imagine that this time of the year during, say, Christmas or January, it's probably going to be about 20 feet higher than it is right now. But today, scanning this has been averaging around 20 to 25 feet for the most part, with the exception of being up here on the edges about 10 to 15 feet.
We found one car, but I think Jared may have just found another one. Okay. We'll be right back over. We're gonna see what that one is. Oh.
You got it? You got it?
Doesn't look like a truck.
I don't think it's a car.
Huh?
I don't think it's a car.
You don't think it's a car? You don't see the wheels?
Uh-uh.
Come on, it's solid.
Oh, there's the wheels. I see them now.
You don't see it?
No, I see it now. I mean, considering how fast this river flows, it could have floated down a ways. A lot of water pressure up against a flat object, you know?
It's great to get out here and experience the scanning in person, getting a better understanding of how it works, getting a better understanding of how these readings get displayed on both the Humminbird and the Garmin. It's not as easy as it looks, that's for sure.
Probably need to fill up on gas, yeah? Are you excited, Dan?
Yes.
Welcome to the Missouri River. We're just outside of Kansas City, also known as the City of Fountains, the heart of America, the Paris of the Plains. We are here to dive on our first car here on the Missouri, looking for missing person, Johnny Lee Thompson Jr., among 5 others local to the area that have gone missing in their vehicles. Let's get on this first car for the day and see what we can find. All right, this should be pretty solid. It might be up a little bit.
Plate. Definitely a Jeep.
Definitely a Jeep, okay.
Got Jeep on the wheels, got a clear shot of that.
Okay.
Driver's window is down. Driver's window is down. Couldn't find any plates. The other 3 windows are up. Modest roof. Not any of the cars we're looking for though in this case.
All right. I'll pull the magnet and we'll get you in the boat and get you over to the next car.
Yep.
You dove on a lot of Jeeps so far. All right, let's go to the next one.
Let's go.
Okay, so this one, I'm gonna drop you off a little bit away from the buoy, and maybe like 15 feet or so, and then you'll wind up floating over to it. So
Is it to the shore or not?
we're like 30, maybe 20 feet off the shore on this one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so we're in like a little eddy there. Yeah. So there's still a little bit of a current, but definitely not as bad as what you just dove. Is that a roulette table? So Dan, we just finished up an extensive search along the Missouri River here, just on the east side of Kansas City. We actually scanned, Jared and I actually scanned almost 6 miles of shoreline, found only 2 vehicles today.
Now the first vehicle that I dove on was a Jeep.
Yep.
Couldn't tell what type of Jeep, but it had Jeep aluminium wheels, so 100% a Jeep, no plates left on it, up on its roof. The 3 windows were up, the driver's side was down, so I could reach in there.
Yep.
I couldn't feel anything on the seat. then the current actually took me. But we were content that that's not the vehicles we're looking for.
Yeah,
so
that first dive was really challenging.
Yeah.
The Missouri River's flowing at 50,000 cubic feet per minute, so it is just moving. It's almost moving about 4.5 to 5 miles an hour if you're in a boat just floating on top of it downstream. But on the second car, what do we have here? It looks like a roulette wheel.
It does look like a roulette wheel. Look, it was a 4-door. One of the doors was busted right open and I could reach in there. Big chrome bumpers on it, very similar to this, obviously chrome. I couldn't tell what it was though. It was so deteriorated. I'm thinking 70s, maybe even earlier 60s.
Yeah.
It's been down a long way. But surely there's a car boffin out there who knows these type of cars. It's a very distinct hubcap, isn't it?
It is, it is.
I don't know that it would be aftermarket because it was quite snug on the rim. It took a fair bit to get it off. So who knows? But
Yeah.
if you know what kind of vehicle this belongs to, please leave a comment down in the section below so we can follow it up and just rule it off 100%.
That's right. And if you haven't done so already, check out Down Under Dan Diving on YouTube. The link is in the description below. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. Dan, it's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. And also, if you haven't joined AWP, this is now a global movement, mate.
That's
this
right.
is inspiring people from the other side of the world to continue to clean up the environment, search for missing persons, and to give answers. That's
right.
what we're here for.
Yep, that's right. I believe we may be here in Kansas City one more day to search a different section of the river.
Yeah, I believe that the yellow team is catching up with us, and I think we're going to be searching one more section, then handing it over to them.
That's right.
While we continue on other commitments.
Well, let's go get it done.
Let's go, mate.